Hello again, Methodist Dave here. It's been a little while, been a minute since I've done a video. Getting settled into the new location here. Last time we were here, I finished off, showed you the desk, which we're sitting at right now. Well, today we have an unboxing, and there's not going to be too many more of these because I've canceled the subscription. So, and I got this box in quite a while ago, so I don't really remember what I got. So I'm going to be as surprised about this as you are. So let's take a look here. Here is my monthly gift goodie box. And as I said, I don't really recall what it was. So I'm using one of the knives that I had gotten before, another previous month. Nice katana blade, Damascus steel, forged and folded. Just slice that there. And let's see what we got. Okay. All right, I have a match kit. So I think this has something to do with camping. I don't recall exactly what was in here. It's a Zippo match kit. It comes with, let's see, a sealed container. You can put matches inside. Water-resistant strike pad cap, lanyard. Let's take a look at this and see. Okay. Whoa. Now those are some matches. There's some heavy duty ones. In case you ever get yourself in a situation where you need to have a fire here, we take this end off here. It's pretty strong there. Little abrasive pad there. Strike your matches on that. You know, I used to be able to buy Strike Anywhere matches. I think they've done away with them. Strike Anywhere matches were really convenient, you know, because you could dip their tips in wax, and that would waterproof it. It's an old scouting trick. Take a Strike Anywhere match, and you dip the tip and the top of the wood in wax, and that sealed it. So when you strike it, it took the wax off, and it would light itself. But as I say, I don't think you can get them anymore. So there's our first item out of the box. Let's see what else we got here. A solar light, portable light. Let's take a look at this one. Need to cut that one open. Take that tape off. Open that. Hoodie up. So this was a camping box. Obviously. I've forgotten. And let's see what we got here. Well, we got here solar cell. Charge this one up. And it glows. So you can grab some light from the sun. It's got a little rubber base here. Set that down. Can work the light. Oh, it's got different brightness levels. There we go. Oop. And a flashing. And then, of course, inside we got a USB charging cord. So you want to get it all charged up before a camping trip. You don't need to leave it out in the sun, but when you're out camping, you know, you can leave it outside, gather the sunlight, and Bob's your uncle. Put that one away. I think I can use that. I'm not going to take this out. It's an emergency space blanket. Translated, this is a piece of plastic Mylar. It holds the heat. It'll actually do what it reflects your heat back into your body. You know, a trash bag works exactly the same way. They used to tell us in Scouts that if you needed something, then you, my box is thoroughly empty here. So, I have a survival tent. This tent is formed into a tube tent to prevent heat loss. This compact tube tent provides warmth by retaining and reflecting up to 90% of body heat. It features a waterproof and windproof shelter barrier and a covering to reduce shock in the case of injuries. So it is a bigger Mylar bag. Again, big trash bag, but this is something bigger. This will accommodate 2 adults if they're friendly. It's 8 foot by 3 foot. Yeah, you would need to be very friendly. I think we will hang on to that, maybe put that in my truck for an emergency situation. And something that is always useful. First aid kit. So let's see what's in our first aid kit. Looks like needles. I got a CPR mask, some rubber gloves, some safety pins, pair of scissors, pair of tweezers. A CPR card is included in here, how to perform CPR. Splinter probes, that's what this is. These look like my diabetes needles. So they're splinter probes in case you get a splinter for digging that out. I got on this side, I got a roll band. I got some alcohol pads, non-adhesive dressing. So it's a pad, and then I got some adhesive bandages back in here. So I got a pretty comprehensive, I don't know what this is. Oh, and tape. Little lanyard here to hold this tape together. And this is a great kit for camping. It's pretty amazing. This is Uncharted Supply Company. So if you're interested in something like this, you can get it from the Uncharted Supply Company. It's a decent little first aid kit. I accumulate first aid kits all over the place, and not that I'm klutzy or anything like that, but you never know when you need it. I carry a first aid kit, a bigger one that I got it from Sam's Club, in my pickup truck, and it's a full big box, size of a laptop, that thick, and it's got bandages, it's got some medicines and things like that, aspirins, some allergy relief pens, alcohol swabs and things like that, sterilizing swabs. Those are great to have with you because you never know when you're going to need one. I was going to an event and I was carrying a chair and I slipped. I was going down a grass hill, and it was pretty slick, so I slipped on the grass and really skinned the daylights out of my knee. I was bleeding, so I hobbled on back to the truck, pulled out my first aid kit, and was able to clean myself up, bandage myself up, and go on to my event. So otherwise I would have been a bloody mess. And you can get an infection through an open wound, depending on what your level of immunity is. If you've got a low immunity, you're prone to infection. Some people have a higher immunity, but it doesn't pay to take chances. You don't want to get seriously injured when just, an alcohol wipe and a bandage would just protect you from getting anything, an infection of any kind. You don't want to have that. So I want to thank you for joining me for this box opening. And my camping gear, I know I keep the matches in my pickup truck in case I ever need it. And the survival tent too, and probably the survival blanket. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll keep the survival tent. Don't know about the survival blanket. See, in my truck, I have a couple blankets in there already. And one of them is fleece on one side and it's nylon on the other side. So, if you've got like a wet surface, you can set the nylon side down there, and it offers a degree of waterproofing. It's not waterproof, but it offers a nice degree of waterproofing that, for things that are damp. And also it helps to retain the heat. And if you're under windy conditions, if there's wind, if you're outside, that nylon barrier keeps the wind from blowing through the fleece. So those nylon backed blankets, if you find one, grab one. They're really great. Just wrap it around yourself, and if it's windy, it cuts the wind out. Helps keep more heat inside because of that nylon layer. It's like wearing a coat. So I recommend that. I always have one in my back of my truck. I always have another blanket too. It's just a fleece blanket in case, you're a little cold in there. Should you ever break down by the side of the road in the wintertime, you want to use those to keep you warm. I know a lot of people say, I just run the engine. Well, sometimes when you run the engine, you run the risk of carbon monoxide. So be a little careful. A blanket doesn't take up much room. Keep it in your truck. Keep it in your trunk in your car. I'd recommend in the wintertime leaving it on the back seat. People can move. You can move it out of the way. But if you have a problem, you break down, you're by the side of the road. I've been there in the middle of winter, bitter cold, broken down by the side of the road, and that blanket really came in handy. So thank you all for joining me. Look for some more tour videos. We're over here in Salem County now, and we're going to be touring Pennsville soon. Fort Mott State Park. You're going to take a look at a Spanish-American War era fort that was armed with battleship guns. That's pretty impressive. The guns aren't there anymore. They actually were sent over to overseas to defend other outposts out there. But these are the same guns that were on the old battleships, the Olympic, and our old post-Civil War fleet. Big 12-inch guns. 10 and 12-inch guns that were at the fort. They had some 8-inch, they had some 5-inch, and you can take a look. We'll see the gun emplacements. The fort was there. They do have a couple barrels on hand of the smaller guns, so we can take a look at them. And one of these days, it's going to be in the spring. Keep in mind for this, we're going to take a tour of Fort Delaware. Pea Patch Island, a Civil War era fort, which is located right in the middle of the Delaware Bay. It's halfway from Fort Mott to Delaware, and this guarded the Delaware River during the Civil War and the Spanish-American War. It got an upgrade, and an upgrade for the First World War too. So these are places where they used to defend the Philadelphia from foreign enemies invading. Nothing ever happened. Never saw a shot fired in anger, But when we do get to Pea Patch Island at Fort Delaware, we're going to see the Civil War prison building. Because during the Civil War, Fort Delaware was a perfect spot for a prison for Confederate soldiers. They kept them trapped on this island in the middle of the river. There's no way they can go. It's a mile to the Delaware side. It's a mile to the New Jersey side. And it was a little too long for them to swim. And it was a pretty secure base, but somebody still escaped. So we're gonna hear that story too. So keep looking for my tour out here. We'll go to the Quinton Bridge battle site. We'll go to Hancock, the Hancock House, site of a Revolutionary War massacre, reminiscent of the Patriot, and a few other sites to be seen around here. So can't wait for you to join me. Methodist Dave saying God bless you and have a great day. Bye.